Hey y'all, welcome back. We are back with a quick Friday Fright. If you're new here and wondering what is a Friday Fright, well, let me tell you. Friday Frights are usually when I do a screenshot drop of things that have been said by characters in this story that have been denied or I've been told that I was lying about. Some of you may remember a post a few weeks back about Letitia Bias's posts in the Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Dre McCrae groups. And I had pointed out some similarities and differences in how Letitia talks in most of her personal posts versus how the Letitia in the group would speak. I was told, oh, knock it off, you're reaching, you can't tell anything by that, so on and so forth. Again, basically discrediting the information that once again I was trying to point out and say, y'all, please start waking up. Things are not making sense. Well, let's get into it a little bit further. And if you haven't seen that video, this is the cover photo for that video. I have always said, and I always say, that it's always in the small details where people screw up and show their true colors. It's not a big deal to have a ghostwriter for you, but in a serious situation involving your son, there is a problem. We're going to start off with Eve, who was a moderator for the Justice for Vaughn and Exposing Dre McCrae groups. This is a message from Eve to the creator of the group. Mary reached out to Eve and said, any word from Letitia today? Eve responds and says, no, nothing, but I did just post what she posted in our other chat group. Mary replies, good, I've been waiting for a while now for her to send that. Eve says, yes, me too. I wrote some of that for her last night. LOL. And again, it's usually not a big deal if somebody is writing posts for you, but the type of posts that they were writing and the information that they were giving is very personal, confidential information. Let's continue. Also, yes, I know Eve's a fake profile. I know that she has involvement in certain pages, but I think people are incorrect on the assumption of what pages she's involved in. That's none of my business. I just want facts. That's it. And what we've been getting is a lot of half truths from all of them. Now let's look at the group chat. It starts off with Letitia saying, okay, Eve usually helps me word these types of things. Mary responds, ask her if you can verify with the hospital that they will allow you. Gigi says, did you send it? Letitia says, no, trying to get the proper words to say. Gigi says, okay, 1 second, I got you. Letitia sends a thumbs up. Mary says, Letitia Bias, I can't wait for you to see your baby. I pray every single night for you. Letitia responds, thank you. Can y'all add Eve? And up pops a post from Gigi. Hi Dre, thanks for reaching out. Your family's safety is very important to me. I would never do anything to jeopardize that. I would love to see my son. I would love to put any differences aside and move forward and put what's more important at the forefront, Marv on. Please, I pray this message is real and will make arrangements as soon as I can. Confirm I will be allowed to see him, as I have attempted to see him once and will have to make arrangements for travel. Please let me know what I can do to take the next step in seeing him. Thank you. Does that sound familiar to anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, let's continue. Gigi continues. Yes, so Eve can proofread my message, ha ha ha, and get rid of it if need be, lol. Letitia says, beautiful Gigi, beautiful. Tony says, do you want me to add Eve? Sorry, I was washing dishes. Gigi says, okay, I did good. Haha, I can't see the rest of it. If you thought those messages looked familiar or sounded familiar, these are the texts that Letitia sent back to Dre when Dre had reached out and tried to make some sort of compromise after the huge social media explosion. You can see who was directing that conversation now. The rest of the message I couldn't see says, okay, I did good, haha, I was nervous, lol. Letitia says, no, this is perfect, yes, please. Tony says, okay, adding her now. After Eve was added to the group a little while later, they discuss something else, and it's another one of Letitia's posts. This is from their group messages again. Eve says, it's waiting for approval in the public group. Then Letitia drops the verbiage of this post. But if you think this sounds familiar when you're looking through it, you might want to pause to read. It's because you've seen that post before, right here in the group. But see, Letitia didn't write this for herself. Why? From what it looks like to me, Eve was basically Letitia's ghostwriter. Again, it's not a big deal to have a ghostwriter to write posts for you, but when they're communicating things about your son who's in a coma, that is little off, especially strangers from groups on Facebook. That's where I'm really confused because this is a very serious subject matter. And if anybody was helping Letitia, I would expect it to come from family. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. But it also puts into perspective that Letitia had individual conversations with a bunch of these people. All of those individual conversations, so far that I have seen, vary greatly in facts. Let's listen to a convo between Eve and the creator of the groups.
I know it's definitely got way, way, way out of hand. I'm trying to think if there's something we're missing on what we can do to handle this better. I mean, I don't know. See, the bottom line is it's a huge group now. What do we have, like 50,000, 60 between the two? So there's no way, realistically, that we're going to be able to control everything and everybody. We just can't. And at the other side of it, people are, allowed free speech and allowed to have different opinions, and everybody's always going to have different opinions, and doesn't mean there's necessarily right or wrong. It's just different. So it's very hard to streamline a group, and we also want to make sure we're not streamlining it to just our way of thinking. But again, of course, we're advocating for the moms, so anything going against Letitia, of course, we would ban. It's not easy, as you see. I've had to help run big groups before. It's not easy. It's overwhelming, and it already is now. But yes, I'm happy to talk to her. The only thing, is that going to help, though? If they keep seeing the money go up and up, we're going to have the same problem with what is she spending it on? Doesn't that should be enough for a lawyer? Like, I'm just worried that it's not going to stop. I mean, then the other half of me is thinking, like, is it really anybody's business? I don't know. I'm so torn about this, as I'm sure you are too. I'm so torn between, yes, we should be transparent and post so people see where their money's going. But on the other hand, like, is it anybody's business? I mean, if they want to donate, they donate. I don't know. It's so hard to know. But if you want me to, I definitely will. Or maybe the other option is we just stop allowing any posts about donations and remove them. I don't know. I mean, some of the other big names are on it now as far as the donations, Justin and Molly and Katie and all them. So maybe we step out of that part. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. I really don't know. I'm just brainstorming out loud.
Again, both of the admins from that conversation have left the groups, from my understanding. I know the creator has left both, exposing Dre McCray and then Justice for Vaughn. She turned over to the other admins, but she is completely done. Eve left as a moderator before a lot of this started to crumble. Yet she is, yes, involved in other groups. Again, I think people are wrong about which groups they are, but that's another story and another day. And honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me who these people are. What matters is the fact that we haven't had transparency or any truth told to us from the jump. Does it matter that Letitia had somebody else writing her post? No, it really doesn't. Except when they're communicating with Dre for her, writing her post basically for her to send to Dre about something as important as that, you're allowing a stranger on the internet to dictate your words? What about your daughter? Why didn't you ask your daughter to help you? I'm just blown away by this. And people once again said, you're lying, you're reaching for things that's not really what it is, but it is. She had a ghostwriter. Okay, again, not a big deal, except for this is a serious situation, an extremely serious situation. They also tried to say that those text messages from Dre were a form of blackmail. Does anybody start to make this make sense now? Do you see how all of this was intentionally laid out? And yet there's pieces of the puzzle that are still missing. It seems like taking accountability for one's actions are the last thing that most of these people involved in this story are willing to do. And again, I'm not shocked by the lack of accountability. There has been a lack of transparency, honesty, and accountability just kind of fits into that. I am not expecting any of them to all of a sudden have a coming to Jesus and say, I'm going to tell the truth. I just don't see that happening. I hope I'm wrong, but I really don't see it happening. I want to know what you all think about Letitia having a ghostwriter to communicate with Dre and the public on behalf of her. Thanks for watching another one. Have a good day.